I must have been in my 20s. I was 20-something years old. And yeah, I designed the poster, trying to also ask people to donate money to the Sickle Cell Society to help, and also to try and get black blood donors to give blood at the time. So yeah, so this was a little project that the Sickle Cell Society asked me to do. And that one ties in with the first poster. You can't see properly in this image, but in this photo, I was actually expecting my first baby. I was pregnant with my first child, and I had been on blood transfusion from when I was about 13 years old.
Do you think that the poster worked?
Oh, do I think that the poster worked? I think it could have worked, it must have worked, but to be quite honest, I think today there is still a lot of people working towards black blood donors. So it must have had some kind of effect, because people, anything that you show people, they do look at it, but people don't immediately react. So I think it worked, but I don't think it worked as in solved everything and everything was, no, because today we're still trying to promote blood transfusion, blood donors from Black culture. So it didn't do everything that it should have done, but it helped. Yeah, and that's like everything in life. Everything that you do, it's not going to just solve everything one time, which is why you have to keep working at it and keep working at it. But I would like to think that I contributed to raising that awareness, because you have to remember, in those days, 1985, it was not like today. Very little was known about sickle cell disease. So people most probably looked at that poster and it made people curious, but there were still a lot of questions and still a lot of people were not sure about sickle cell. So I think it did raise awareness to make people ask questions.
Okay.
What message would you say to blood donors from back then to this day?
What message would I give to them? Well, my message would be, if it wasn't for blood donors, remember, I started having transfusion when I was about, I think 12 was my first transfusion. And I'm 57 years old at the end of the year. And 35 of those years was I kept pretty healthy with having blood transfusion. Now, if it wasn't for those blood donors, I have to admit that maybe I wouldn't be here today. It gave me they really helped me to give me a really good quality of life. And it's so important to have black blood donors, because we have something in our blood that is slightly different from a white person's blood, for example. And it's important that those antibodies, after you have blood for a long period of time, you can develop antibodies, so you can be having a few problems. So I just want to thank everybody that contributed to, you know, making me well and helping me to be where I am today. To continue, we need to keep working on that. It's really, really important, because blood transfusion is quite a big treatment within sickle cell disease.
Have you ever had any side effects to the medication you've taken?
Are you talking about medication with blood transfusion or just medication in general?
Medication in general.
So, okay then. So blood transfusions, when I used to have blood transfusions, I used to itch a lot. I used to scratch a lot. I used to have, my reaction was I used to scratch, and I think that was because there were certain things in the, this is the reason why it's important for Black donors, because the reactions are more prevalent when the blood doesn't match exactly with you. So that was one of my side effects, was itching. When I was given, when I take morphine, if I take morphine now, that's the reaction that I get as well. I itch a lot with morphine. But other than that, I've been really lucky that I haven't had huge side effects.
This isn't really based on your life, but what do you think? What are your expectations for like sickle cell in the future?
That's a really good one. That's a really, really good question. And, you know, because of the fact that you have to remember, when I grew up with sickle cell, it was totally different from today. Yeah, I'm gonna say something to you guys. Be encouraged today with how things are surrounding sickle cell disease, because when I grew up, there was so much things that I had to go through that I know that are easier for you guys today. Yeah, I couldn't go swimming. I couldn't actually go swimming. So I'm 56 years old and I don't know how to swim. Yeah, because every time I went into a swimming pool, the cold, just the next day I would be in hospital with a crisis. Yeah, and because people didn't know what to do, that just continually happened for me. So therefore, I couldn't swim. Now, today, if you've got sickle cell, you can go swimming. They just say you can't spend as long in the pool as what a normal person would. So the way that I've seen things improve from when I was born is absolutely amazing. It shows me that the awareness is there. It shows me that people do know what sickle cell is now. Before, when I grew up with sickle cell, nobody knew what sickle cell disease was. It was like, I felt like I was so different because nobody knew what sickle cell was. Even school was different for me. I'm sure now you've got lots of support. There's so much support. So I'm encouraged that things are going to get better. Things have got better and things will get better. Yeah, and just even meeting you guys are so impressive. You're beautiful kids. You're so intelligent. Yeah, I didn't have that. I was very, very unconfident. I wasn't confident within myself because that's what sickle cell did for me. It took away my confidence. And I'm just so impressed because it shows that you guys are not making sickle cell disease keep you down. You're fighting it. And that's what it's all about, is fighting it. And be encouraged that, I feel encouraged that things have improved and things are going to improve. And that's what you guys have to remember, that you're special. Yeah, you're special and it's going to get better. And you are the ones that are going to make it get better. And just focus on whatever you're doing. Just believe that you can be whatever you want to be. And you can be who you want to be, you know, and do what you want to do. Don't let anybody ever discourage you to say that you can't, because you can.